Right guys, it's Blackman the Traveller, and today's video is I'm going to be explaining my experience in Afghanistan and Pakistan. So I'm going to be doing a comparison video today. I'm in Argentina at the moment. It's a beautiful day here in Argentina. As you can see, that's where I am. So anyway, so guys, first of all, how did I get into Afghanistan and Pakistan? So I got into Pakistan easy. You apply for the visa and you get your visa literally in 1 week time. It cost me about, I think, roughly cost me about, I think it was like $50 or $40. It cost me to get my visa, and it took me exactly 1 week. And then you need to print out your visa for Pakistan when you travel. So you need to print out your visa for Pakistan. Hello, you alright? Hello. So you need to print out your visa for when you travel to. Hello, you alright? Okay. Yeah, congratulations, Argentina. So you need to print out your visa when you apply. Yeah, Messi, very good. So you need to print out your. It's basically the World Cup's going on. So everyone's super happy. So you need to print out your visa when you go to Pakistan, and you need to have a copy of your visa whenever you travel around Pakistan. How I got into Afghanistan is I went to Pakistan, and then they got two consulates, Afghan embassies in Pakistan. One is in Peshawar, and one's in Islamabad. So I went to the one that was in Peshawar. Literally, I paid like $100. And I got my visa in exactly 1 hour. It was the most awkward situation I've ever been in. Like, I went in a room, and there was a bunch of Talibs over there. Talibs or Talibans? A bunch of Talibs in the room, and then they asked me so many questions. What's my purpose of going to Afghanistan? What do I do for a living? Blah, blah, blah. They don't like journalism. So never say that you're a journalist. They hate journalism. I'm not a journalist. I'm a content creator. I make raw traveling content. So I just told them I'm going to Afghanistan just for tourism. I never mentioned my YouTube channel, but I think one of the security guards must have realized who I was from my previous videos in Pakistan. So I'm going to start off with security. Both countries, I felt so safe in Pakistan when I traveled around Pakistan. I had no issues traveling around Pakistan, so I felt so safe. In terms of Afghanistan, it's a bit odd because you can't travel around Afghanistan without a translator or without a tour guide. It's going to be impossible, especially if you're a foreigner. So when you go to Afghanistan, make sure you got a tour guide or a translator that can speak to the local authorities that's there in Afghanistan, because you're going to get stopped by the local police or by the local Taliban security, and they're going to ask you so many questions. So I definitely recommend you, when you go to Afghanistan, and make sure you got the right documentations. I felt safe in both countries. Afghanistan was a bit nervous because obviously as soon as I landed through the airport, I was shitting my pants. I was so scared as soon as I landed in the airport in Kabul, because they've never seen a black man like me, especially certain Taliban members. So they were just curious. Like as soon as I landed in the airport, they were so confused. So literally I went through the airport, everyone was just literally just staring at me. Everyone was just so confused, thinking, what's this guy doing here? Where's he from? But literally after 25 minutes, I was talking to the Talibans in the airport, and then I was pretty much chilled. So security issues, I'll say 1-1. Pakistan, you need to have your copy of your visa. Traveling around the country, you are going to get stopped by a bunch of Pakistan security personnel, but it's their duty to protect their country. The visa for Afghanistan, it's a sticker on your passport, so you need to carry your passport with you. Even if you're walking in the streets of Kabul, you are going to get stopped, and they will ask you for your documentations. Now, food. Pakistan and Afghanistan have got some amazing food, but I'm going to be straightforward. I prefer the food in Pakistan because there was much more ingredients. Lahore is one of the food capitals around the world. I definitely suggest you guys go to Lahore and try the food in Lahore. It was absolutely amazing. I mean, Pakistan's cuisine is just like the lassis, the samosas, you know, the biryani, the curry, like so much flavors. It reminds me of India. Now, Afghanistan has got some amazing cuisine. They've got mutton, you know, they've got They've got some very good beef. They've got very good kebabs. They've got very good, but then they drink this buttermilk. It's very interesting. I wasn't really a fan of Afghani food, but it is tasty. I really love the sweetening, the sweet palau that has raisins and onions. That is amazing. But in terms of food, Pakistan, I'm sorry, you win. Pakistan wins on food. In terms of transportation, now it is so easy to travel around Pakistan. You're not going to have no problems traveling around Pakistan. You could take local buses. You're going to have no problems traveling around there. You could take local buses. You can have no issue in terms of traveling around there. You could take local buses over there. You could take trains traveling from city to city. Right, let me try to walk on the main road so I can show you guys. So you can travel on the trains. Pakistan has got more of a better transportation infrastructure. They are kind of prepared for tourism. Afghanistan has been a country that's been affected with war for numerous amount of years. So that is a key problem that Afghanistan faces, but they are moving forward. So in terms of transportation, I would definitely say Pakistan is a bit more ahead of Afghanistan because they've got more better coaches, they've got the trains, but inshallah in the future Afghanistan will have a better transportation system. To travel around Afghanistan you need to rent cars. So I rented a car with a famous content creator called Emma Witters, and we travelled around from Kabul to Jalalabad, and we rented a car travelling around there. So I'll definitely recommend you to take local taxis, or you can take buses, but they will be, hello, you alright? I wish you luck on Sunday. But no problem. So I definitely would recommend you to take local transportation, or you can take coaches traveling around Afghanistan. But in terms of transportation, Pakistan's just a bit more ahead in terms of Afghanistan. Now, people, hospitality, guys, both countries are equal. Pakistan and Afghanistan, you are not going to get any other country like Afghanistan and Pakistan when it comes to hospitality. The people there are amazing. I have never met some of the most hospitable people in my life. You will walk in the streets of Pakistan, in Lahore, in Karachi, in Faisalabad, in Jhelum, in Peshawar. You walk the streets of Kabul, Bamiyan, Mazar Sharif, Kandahar, Helmand. You know, you walk in some of the most remote villages as well in Afghanistan, and they're just curious. They will offer you food. They'll offer you chai tea. They'll invite you over to the house. You go buy food in Pakistan in a restaurant or Afghanistan, and the local person will say, nope, sorry, you're not going to pay that. It's on me, it's free. You ain't going to get that in Europe. Imagine going to a restaurant in London, or some random restaurant in Rome, in Italy, or a random restaurant in Paris, or a random restaurant in America, and then you're about to pay. Like, the owner's not going to say, nah mate, the food's on me. They're going to make you they're going to charge you for the food. But in Pakistan and Afghanistan, hospitality is on another level. The people are the most hospitable people you're ever going to meet. Them. They're very sincere, they're very polite, they're very intrigued to see foreigners. I've walked in both streets and I've never felt scared in terms of course, when there's guns around me, I get a bit paranoid. But in terms of hospitality, Pakistan and Afghanistan are the most hospitable countries you'll ever face in your life. You should go to these countries, and I definitely recommend. Now, natural beauty. The north of Pakistan has got some amazing natural beauty. Hello, you alright? You okay? You alright? Hello? So the north of Pakistan has got some amazing natural beauty. So what was I going to say? I've been to Hunza and I've been to Gilgit, and those places in the north were the most beautiful mountain piscaret places you ever meet. Look, so this is Buenos Aires. You guys can see, this is all like the surroundings that I've got over here. So the north of Pakistan, I mean, it's amazing. It was beautiful. It was clean, fresh mountains. The north of Pakistan, you'd think you're somewhere like in New Zealand, somewhere like you're in the south of Argentina, or maybe in Canada. Now, I went to Afghanistan and I had this thought in my head. It's going to be raw. It's going to be a bit dangerous, and it's going to be a bit interesting. But I never imagined to go to Bamiyan in the snow. I'm with my tour guide, and it was snowing randomly, and we drove past so many roads, mountains of snow, snow-capped mountains all around me in Afghanistan. I opened the car, you can see in my previous videos, and I was just amazed by the natural beauty it has. So, Bamiyan, I couldn't believe, I'm not gassing to you, I couldn't believe that I was in Afghanistan. Both countries have natural beauties, have lakes, mountains, certain things that certain countries in Europe don't have, certain things that even Western countries don't have, or developed countries don't have. Both countries have natural beauty. Now, another thing that I'm going to say about my experience in both countries, the only negative experience I had with Pakistan was I had a bit of a misunderstanding with the security agencies in the airport. The way they treated me was a bit bad second time. But obviously every country handles tourists in a different type of manner. In Afghanistan, the only thing that I don't like is the way certain women get treated. Every country and culture's got its own different beliefs. I truly understand, but I think they should sort it out. The Taliban are working on certain issues, so those are the only negative I can say about both countries. Apart from that, it's amazing. Would I go back to Pakistan? 100% yes. I've been there 2 times. It's on my plans to go back to Afghanistan and to Pakistan. I definitely want to go back to Skardu and other places that I haven't been. Would I go back to Afghanistan? That is the question that people keep asking me. I plan to go back to Afghanistan, inshallah, next year or after next year, 2023 or 2024. The reason why is because Afghanistan is a country that is so raw, it's so authentic. I've never been to a country where people are just curious to find out where you come from, who you are, what you do for a living. Right, I'm gonna walk down what you do for a living. So I will definitely go back to Afghanistan and both countries. I'm so curious about both countries. What other things can I mention? So I've done security, I've done natural beauty, I've done food, I've done hospitality. All right, cheap. Accommodation is very expensive in both countries. It is super expensive in Afghanistan in accommodation because they're not used to having foreigners. They're not used to having tourists around that country. So you need to be very aware, very prepared when you travel to Afghanistan. Foreigners don't really go to Afghanistan, especially in Kabul. Kabul is very expensive when it comes to accommodation. It is very expensive. So the rent was like $70, then I had to haggle it down to like $50 because I said I was a content creator and I promote the hotel. Sometimes you got to use your head. Now, there is no hostels in Afghanistan, but they've got guest houses. But you got to negotiate prices with the people that work in the reception or the owners. Pakistan don't have hostels, apart from one hostel that I stayed in Islamabad, but they do have guest houses and they do have Airbnb, and couchsurfing does work in Afghanistan and Pakistan. Couchsurfing is a platform where you can use, I pay like £4 to maintain my account a month, and you can use it all around the world. It's eligible in most countries around the world, and you can use it for accommodation. It's very cheap. You get to meet people that are going to be hosting you, but you got to make sure you got to check the reviews to make sure that there's no rapists, no serial killers, no one that's mental. So in terms of accommodation, Afghanistan's a bit more expensive. Pakistan can be a bit expensive as well, but yeah, you just got to know how to use which platforms, which websites for the best accommodation prices. Now, in terms of expenses, both countries can be expensive. It all depends on who you are as a vlogger. I found both countries expensive because obviously transportation, because obviously accommodation can be a bit expensive. So I did find both countries a bit expensive. So in terms of expenses, yeah, they are both almost the same. Now, my experience as a black man in both of these countries. When I went to Pakistan, I never knew any content creator that was black, that went there and that filmed and showed the diversity of that country. I don't know any content creator. So I went there and I showed them with the mentality that I had, I was going to be curious, and I was very curious. And I felt treated like a king, especially in Pakistan and Afghanistan. They treated me like a king, they treated me like a brother. It was the most interesting, unique places that I've been to, Afghanistan and Pakistan. I only had problems with the police in the airport in Pakistan, as I said in my video before. As a black man, it was weird because people were touching my skin, touching my hair, they were just taking photos of me. They were just so curious to see a black man walking in the streets of Islamabad, walking the streets of Jhelum or Multan, these other cities in Pakistan. When I went to Afghanistan, oh my God, when I interacted with the Taliban, they were so curious. Every checkpoint I went to, so this is Argentina, you can see it's in the World Cup. Every checkpoint that I went to, they were asking, where's he from? Why is his hair like that? What is he doing here? oh man, I even got invited to a couple of Taliban members' houses and they gave me chai tea. So it was, as a black man, it was very interesting. I plan to go to more countries where people of colour don't go to. I really want to go to Bangladesh. I really want to go to Yemen. I plan to go to Mongolia, to China, to North Korea, to Taiwan, to Japan. I want to go to certain countries where people of colour have never been to, and that's one of my main goals in terms of YouTube, to inspire people of colour, Asian community, the black community, to come out of the comfort shelf and to travel to these countries, or just people in general. So as a black man in both countries, I had an amazing experience. So this is my comparison with both countries. Now, the last question is what is the best country, Pakistan or Afghanistan? They're both the same, because they're both raw, they're very exotic, they're very hospitable, they're very untouched, and they're very authentic. So both countries are pretty much the same. So guys, that's my review on both countries, exploring Pakistan and Afghanistan. That's my review, that's my experience. 100%, I would say to you guys, is go to these countries, and that's my experience. I've had more positive than negatives on both countries. I don't believe in propaganda in the media. I'm the type of person, if someone says to me Somalia is dangerous, Yemen's dangerous, I'll try to book a flight, I'll try to get some people that are from those countries, and I'll go there and I'll vlog it. And I'll show you guys how unique and authentic these countries are. My aim is to inspire you guys to travel to these countries, so you guys are not going to be scared. So pretty much, that's my review on both countries. And that's my experience on both countries. I think I'm going to walk a bit further down. So guys, that's my experience as a black man traveling to Pakistan and Afghanistan. That's my review on both countries. And they don't really have nightlife, because obviously they are Islamic countries. They don't have nightlife, these countries, but you can still enjoy in the shisha bars, in the restaurants. You know, they've got chilling spots, chilling lounges. It's pretty much chilled. Even if you don't drink alcohol, you can still enjoy life without drinking alcohol. I don't drink alcohol. You know, you can enjoy life in both countries. They do have a sociable aspect. Pakistan has a more sociable aspect than Pakistan, because they're a bit more advanced in terms of how the governments are run, but you can still enjoy in both countries. You ain't gonna have no problems in both of these countries. So I don't know what else to think about. I spoke about how I got my visa. I never had no incidents of people trying to rob me in Pakistan or in Afghanistan. Afghanistan securities, man, the security is very, very on, you know, it's on point. Those Taliban people, they don't mess around, especially when it comes to security. Yes, there is a bit of ISIS threats and, you know, internal politics. I don't get involved, I don't believe in politics, but yeah, there can be some moments where it can be a bit unsafe, but 98% of the time you are safe. The Taliban are there to protect you. They have the rules and regulations. The Pakistan army, when you go to Pakistan, they've got their rules and regulations. Just follow the rules and regulations and no one's gonna bother you. So it's Blackman the Traveller here in Argentina, in Buenos Aires. You can see that's where I am right now. So it's been an amazing video. I've been walking around for almost like 19 minutes and I'm in the streets of like Rio de Janeiro. That's where I am. So see you soon. Bye.